would start with training the whole body at once if you're a beginner. Reason why is if you train one body part and you train for an hour, hour and a half, you're going to pull up super sore. It's almost a given. A lot of my clients, they'll do a whole body routine. So they'll train pretty much all their muscle groups, doing 4 to 12 sets over a week. So they're all spaced out over 2 to 3 sessions, and basically they actually start to progress. But the main thing is we want to go the minimal effective dose as well. So there's going to be a minimal amount that we can evoke a training response. And majority of people, it could be 1 set, doing 1 maximal set, or it could be 3 sets of 10, or it could be doing 8 sets over 2 sessions or over a week. We always want to invoke the minimal effective dose, and because it helps to keep it safe, but we're also inducing or getting progression.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I definitely did. That was the way what came into sort of the training world. Was I started, all my sessions were always full body, and I'd go through hit every sort of muscle group once with one of like the compound movements, or just a real sort of basic movement, just to gauge how my body reacted to different, that's where I found out, okay, my legs aren't as strong as my upper body is a bit more strong, so therefore I can do these sets, these reps, this weight with that part of my body. And yeah, like you said, sometimes you'll come in, and even if you're doing just a full body, you pull up super sore the next day, but then at least you can go, okay, at least now I've got 1 or 2 days to recover, and then I can hit it again. And that's even going to probably be the best way, where you see the most results at the beginning, because you're hitting everything.
Yeah, and muscle protein synthesis occurs from, I think it's 12 hours to about 72 hours. So it's quite a big window. So you break down the tissue, it begins to repair, but then you actually begin the actual synthesis. You're actually creating new tissue. And when you go through that phase, it's usually about the 48 to 72 hour window. We actually suggest you hit the same body part or do the same or very similar workout. It might be a little bit lighter, a little less intense, just depending on how it's structured.
Yeah, and that first, at least personally from my experience in that first stage, that's probably the hardest stage. That I'd say that's probably the time where a lot of people then just drop out from training and go, this isn't for me, because it's the first time that their nervous system is getting hit in that way. You're obviously going to feel drained because your body's not used to, that sort of training. But like we were talking about before, with risk versus reward, this is the time where the reward's huge at the beginning. When you're first hitting it, it's that first, your body's almost in freak out mode because your nervous system's never felt anything like that before.
Yeah, and as obviously as you go over time, the risks they do seem to increase as you start increasing the variability in training, but the reward actually becomes a lot greater.
Yeah,
a lot greater as well. So then the reward, not in terms of just gains, but the variability of training, you start to enjoy it a lot more. You can do different things. If for whatever reason you become injured, you can do something slightly different.
Yeah.
There's a multitude of things that you can actually learn from. By just doing the basics, like, oh, this is good, I'm getting something out of it, how can I make it a bit more challenging?
Yeah, and that's where that self-awareness again kicks in too. Yeah, that's why training is so good for mentally as well, tying that in and being self-aware of how your body's feeling and how it's reacting to things, and how the best what best conditions you can train under, or best conditions you can function in. Then that's probably more so where all those rewards keep increasing, because you just keep finding out more and more things that work for you.